Once again, this Red Sox offense has failed Nathan Eovaldi. They had a win right at the edge of their fingertips on Saturday, and they were not able to do it. Once again, the offense just is not there. Welcome to the Locked On Red Sox podcast. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. I am your host, Nessens Lauren Campbell. I will be flying solo dolo today. So I just want to get on here and talk about Friday's game, which the Red Sox did win, Saturday's game, which the Red Sox should have won, and the struggles of Bobby Delbeck, because it is becoming so incredibly apparent that the offense as a whole is struggling, but Bobby Delbeck is just really, really struggling. We have a ton to get into, so let's just jump right into it.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. So at least the Red Sox won on Friday, right? And this is against a Baltimore Orioles team that they 100% should be beating 100% of the time. The Orioles are not a good team, and they made the Red Sox look absolutely silly on Saturday. But Friday, they did win 2-1. 3-1, I'm sorry. But the issue here is they're still leaving men on base. There was 5 left on base. There were over 2 with runners in scoring position, so that's not like a big glaring issue in that game. But it's still the ninth inning. The bottom of the ninth inning continues to be an adventure for the Red Sox, and they almost blew it in the ninth inning on Friday. Thankfully, they were able to get out of it, and it was a good win, but you left the win kind of feeling like you needed more. Rich Hill looked really good. He gave you 4 innings. He looked really strong on the mound, which is something you really needed to see from him. He was kind of struggling through his first few starts. And then the offense, tale as old as time that we've been saying on this podcast, the offense continues to struggle. But Friday wasn't too much of a problem. The Red Sox did DFA Travis Shaw. They recalled Franchy Cordero from Worcester. It's not really that much of a surprise. Speaking of terrible offense, Travis Shaw had 7 Ks in 19 plate appearances with no hits. So he wasn't doing anything at all for this offense. He wasn't providing a good spark when they needed to. He was just not giving the Red Sox what he needed or what the Red Sox needed. And so they had no choice but to DFA him. So it was really good to get that win on Friday, get back in the win column, snap that losing streak. But then Saturday came along and the Red Sox looked like they were going to win a 1-0 game. Nate Eovaldi once again did fabulous for the Red Sox. He is doing everything he possibly can through his last 2 or 3 starts to help this team win. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, no walks, and he struck out 8. Nate Eovaldi has been absolutely amazing for the Red Sox. I can't say that enough about him. He is doing everything he can to help this Red Sox team win. He's going deeper into games, so he's giving the relievers a rest. He's striking out men. He's keeping them off base by limiting his walks. And the Red Sox offense went stale once again. And it's like, you cannot keep wasting these starters' outings, especially against the Orioles, just to lose it in extra innings. It was another heartbreaking loss for the Red Sox. And if the offense had just done something, if they had scored, obviously, if they had scored more runs, that's been the whole issue all season through the first month of the 2022 season. So on Saturday, they lost 2-1 in 10 innings, and they were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and they left 10 men on base. You cannot do that against any team, really, but especially the Orioles. You should be able to light these guys up, and you're not doing it. This team has been so unbelievably frustrating for the last month. It's just, I don't know how to fix this offense. And it's not my job to fix this offense. Alex Cora said after Saturday's loss that it's the plate appearances. The Red Sox are swinging and missing a whole lot. The patience is not there. They need to stop swinging at first pitches, stop swinging at second pitches. Just let the pitcher work. That way you can work a walk. That way you can wait for the pitch that you know you can hit. I've seen Rafael Devers. I've seen Xander Bogaerts. I've seen Bobby Dalbec. I mean, he's a whole other issue with this team, but they're just swinging at anything possible. And Devers is not the problem on this team. Bogaerts is not the problem. They are doing well offensively, but it's just, oh my God. It's game in and game out. This team is hard to watch when it comes to offense. So the Red Sox on Saturday had plenty of opportunities to push in another run, to put their team ahead. For whatever reason, this offense just could not do it. So the Orioles tied the game. They went to extra innings. And in the bottom of the 10th, Hirokazu Sawamura came out. They intentionally walked Ryan McKenna with the ghost runner on second. And Robinson Chirinos bunted into a fielder's choice. It was a perfect bunt for Sawamura to throw to third. So I'm not mad that Sawamura decided to try to get the lead runner. He did not take any time to make this throw. He rushed it. He overthrew it, so Devers could not reach it. It was way over Devers' head, and the ghost runner scored. So the Orioles walked it off on a walk-off bunt, and it was just the camera showed Sawamura, and he was just standing there like in disbelief. And I think that's kind of how all of Red Sox Nation and every Red Sox fan felt after that loss, because it was just another loss that should have been a win. And you had Sawamura, who just did not plant his feet. He did not take the time to just take a deep breath and throw the ball. He had time, and he just rushed it. So that obviously sucked. And Sawamura has not been wonderful for the Red Sox. And Saturday night certainly didn't do him any favors. But also the offense is not doing this team any favors. The offense and the Red Sox would not have been in an extra innings position had the offense just come through one or two more times. So it was just another heartbreaking loss in extra innings for the Red Sox. Like I said, I'm not mad that Sawamura decided to throw to third. It's just the fact that how often or how fast he rushed the play. Ugh, God, this team is going to push me into early retirement. This team has spiked my blood pressure, and I really hope Sunday's win, they can salvage a win, have a much needed day off on Monday, and begin a homestand against a tough Angels team. So this offense needs to figure it out. And I think what's more, I don't know if the mind-boggling is the right word or what, but on Saturday when the Orioles walked off with the win, the Red Sox became the first team to get walked off on by every other team in their division since 2012 when it happened to the Chicago Cubs. Just take a minute and think about how crazy that is, that every team in the AL East in the last month has walked off a win against the Red Sox. Oh boy, that is not good. Hopefully, with the calendar turning, a new month, fresh start, the Red Sox offense can start to click, because the pitching is not the problem. And again, I'll never be able to get over the fact that it's not the pitching, that the offense just cannot come together. And yeah, we're still early in the season. The first month of the season is gone. It's behind us. But it's still really concerning that the Red Sox have not figured it out, that the offense is just not there. You have the opportunities. You have the men on base, but you're just not making the correct contact. You're swinging too soon. You're swinging too much. You're swinging at everything that you should not be swinging at. And it's costing you games, and it's costing you time in the standings. These are AL East opponents that are crucial wins. I don't care if it's April. I don't care if it's June. I don't care if it's September. Wins against AL East teams are incredibly important at any point in the season, and you can't do it, especially against the Orioles. Like, it's the Orioles. You should be able to beat them, but that is not the case. The Red Sox cannot beat the Orioles. Hopefully, like I said, they can win the series on Sunday. JD Martinez does return to the lineup. He missed the last 6 or 7 games with an adductor issue, and it was limiting him. He tried to get back into the lineup on Saturday, but he was a late scratch. He is in there Sunday. So hopefully he can kind of ignite this offense and kind of get himself into a groove, get this team into a groove, get them a win on Sunday afternoon, get them back to Boston in a good mood, ready to welcome Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and the Angels to Fenway Park on Tuesday. Because if you can't beat the Orioles, and you have all this kind of negative energy going into a homestand, you're not going to be able to beat the Angels. And they're a tough team anyway. You have Mike Trout, you have Shohei Ohtani, you have a really strong Angels team, and you really need to get into this series on a high note. Coming up in our second segment of Locked On Red Sox, going to touch on Bobby Dalbec and how kind of my preseason prediction looks quite silly here on May 1st. But first, I do want to tell you about BetOnline because betonline.net is your number one source for all of your betting stats and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and the start of the Major League Baseball season. The Boston Celtics begin their Eastern Conference semifinals against the Bucks on Sunday at 1 o'clock, so make sure you check out BetOnline for all those betting needs. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sporting wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and so much more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and the action. BetOnline, where the game starts. And so Bobby Dalbec has been struggling, to say the least. He's been struggling offensively. We've seen him struggle defensively at first base, and it's beginning to raise questions with Red Sox fans of, well, when will Triston Casas be called up? And he's in a bit of a slump right now, and that's bound to happen with any player. But he was struggling a little bit in Worcester the last week, and I'm really big on developing prospects and not bringing them up too soon, not having all that pressure on them. Because if you bring Triston Casas up, even if Alex Cora tells him, no pressure, you're here because we need to get Bobby Dalbec going. You're here because we want to see what we have in you at the major league level. You're still putting pressure on him, and he knows that this offense is struggling. So it's almost like you're throwing him into the lineup and being like, hey, kids, save our season on May 1st. I love Triston Casas. I'm so excited to see him at the major league level, but I'm willing to be patient with him, but it's a double-edged sword because am I willing to be patient with Bobby Dalbec? I don't know how much more patience I have with this guy because going into Sunday's game, he's batting an abysmal 147 with 3 RBI. Ooh, that is not good. And I know the whole team is really struggling. I understand that, but Bobby Dalbec had a stellar second half of the season. And I said my preseason prediction was that he was going to lead the Red Sox in home runs. I look like a bozo for saying that right now. Again, I know it's early, but he can't hit anything. He's really, really struggling. You can see it on his face. He's really, really unhappy with himself, and understandably. But for me, I'm just like, of all people, like, does he need something to motivate him to get him going? Because we saw him struggle in the first half of 2021. Then the Red Sox trade for Kyle Schwarber to play first base, a position he never played before. And all of a sudden it ignited a fire under Bobby Dalbec. He was a whole new player. He looked like he was reborn again. And it was exciting to watch him play. He couldn't stop hitting home runs. You had confidence in him. He was someone you wanted at the plate in situations where he could tie the game, get a run scored. Now you're just like, good God, why would I want this person up at bat in a crucial situation? You have a man on second, you have a man on third. Oh God, is Bobby Dalbec going to fly out? Is he going to strike out? What is he going to do? It's not a good feeling when he's at the plate. And I don't like having that bad feeling with anyone who's at the plate. But again, when he had such a strong end to the 2021 season, you probably think he's going to carry it over. I certainly did, but he's just really, really, really struggling. And I don't know how much longer of a leash he's going to have. I don't think the Red Sox should DFA him or anything like that, but I don't know if he needs to sit. Again, I don't know if Triston Casas needs to be called up just for him to kind of get going. But the more he struggles, both offensively and defensively, the quicker I believe Casas will be called up. I think he'll be here before the All-Star break, but will Red Sox fans be willing to be that patient if Dalbec continues to struggle? So he's been a big kind of black eye on this team and on this offense. And again, we've mentioned this several times on the show where we really thought it was going to be the pitching, but it's the offense. And again, leaving men in scoring position. You can't be 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. You can't leave 10 men on base. You can't keep swinging at the first pitch. Like, please just be patient. You have the offense. It's there. You have the players to be able to score plenty of runs per game. And they're not doing it because they're not patient. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. This is history making here on Locked On Red Sox. Ryan Brazier hasn't been that bad the last 2-3 outings. His velocity seems to be up more. He seems to have a little bit more control. He didn't blow the game on Saturday. So I'm going to give him credit because I think he deserves it. It'd be nice to be able to give him credit and have this team win, but you got to pick and choose your battles, right? Whatever. But good for Ryan Brazier. Hopefully he can keep that up, and hopefully this bullpen can continue to keep the team in games. Hopefully the starters can continue to go deeper into games. Nate Eovaldi, like I said, once again goes 7 innings. So we'll see how Sunday's game goes. Hopefully, like I said, the Red Sox can get back on track. It is a getaway day, so hopefully their minds are just trying to win and get back home in a good mindset. It's a beautiful day here in Boston. Come home to beautiful weather, come home with a win, get some good rest and some good batting practice in, watch some film on the Angels, whatever you have to do, and begin this homestand strong. Start this run now. It's not too late to turn this team around. So hopefully, like I said, April's behind us now. It is officially May, and we are trying to turn this team right around because it needs to do a complete 180. Red Sox fans are growing impatient, and understandably so. Coming up in our third segment of the Locked On Red Sox podcast, we will be doing the mental health minute as we always do. I am going to be posing a question to Red Sox fans because I know what I think. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But first, I need to tell you about Built Bar because summer is coming. Summer is almost here. And with summer, you're going to need some food on the go. Built Bars are the perfect snack to take with you on family vacations. You can throw them right in your bags or even in your kids' backpacks. Make sure that everyone has a bar so you're fueled for your summer trips. The best part about Built Bars too, they're healthy and they're delicious. So you don't have to sacrifice delicious food for health because with Built Bars, you can have both and it's that easy. All you have to do is go to built.com and order now. And if you haven't tried the Built Puffs yet, oh my God, we're going crazy over here at Locked On for the Puffs. They come in a variety of different flavors like banana cream pie and even churro, which this might trump cookies and cream for me with Built Bars because it is so good. Who doesn't want a protein bar that tastes like a churro? Plus, the calories are really good on these things. They're only about 140. Sign me right up. Go to built.com right now for all of your favorites. Like I said, banana cream pie, there's raspberry, double chocolate, my favorite cookies and cream, and so many more. There is a flavor for everyone. They're all delicious, and there's new flavors coming out all the time. If you head to built.com and use promo code LOCKED15, you will get 15% off your order. That's LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen today. For your next listen, make sure to check out the Locked On Now podcast. Recaps of MLB games with analysis from our local experts taking fans through the season like no other network. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. So when I was watching the game Saturday with my fiance and I was thinking about how the Red Sox still do not have somebody they can trust in the ninth inning. And if you need a refresher, go listen to last week's episode. I believe it was Wednesday. Jake had a great rant about the struggles of not being able to trust someone with the ninth inning and with close games. And I was beginning to wonder, as much as I have loved watching Garrett Whitlock the last 2 starts in the starting position, should he go back in the bullpen? And again, I hate when you do this to pitchers, when teams, they're pushing them back and forth between starting and bullpen, and then you're in the bullpen for like 3 weeks, and then you come back and do a spot start, and you're in the starting rotation for a little while, messes up the routine, maybe the mentality of the pitcher. Should they put Garrett Whitlock back in the bullpen? And I'm saying this because you can trust him out of the bullpen. You can trust him in tight situations, in scary situations, in do or die situations. You really can trust him. Should they put him back in the bullpen, at least for the first half of the season? Because the Red Sox have lost so many close games. So many close games. And again, a lot of this is the offense. But you don't have anyone you can trust coming out of that bullpen. Garrett Whitlock was somebody you could trust. He was one of the only ones you could trust. So do the Red Sox do that? Should they put him back in the bullpen? That's my question to you. I think they should. Like I said, I know I don't like the back and forth, but I think you should stick with him there in the bullpen and just keep him there because you need someone out of that pen that you can trust. And he was that one person. But what do I know? I'm not a major league manager. let's get into our mental health minute. It is a new month, it is a new week. So I am really excited to just kind of see what this month brings. This is my incredibly busy season with the Bruins beginning their playoffs on Monday night. The Celtics are beginning their playoffs Sunday afternoon. The Red Sox season is in full swing. The NFL draft wraps up on Sunday. So just a very, very busy time. And this is like my favorite time of the year. I love being able to catch up on the Bruins, write about the Bruins and their playoff run, no matter how sad it can end at times. And I love being super busy. I love being someone who's constantly got stuff to do, a lot of stuff on her plate. And I love having so much stuff on my plate. And it's good for me because it's all stuff I love to do. I'm watching the Bruins and I'm reporting on the Bruins. I'm watching the Red Sox and sharing my frustrations with you with the Red Sox. I do, as you know, I cover sports professionally, and it's so much fun to be able to watch these games as my job, to report on these games as my job, and to come on this podcast every day and complain about the offense and share the anger and the annoyance and everything in between. But we also share optimism. So I'm really excited to just jump right into the busy season. Summer is approaching, which just seems wild to me. We're already in May. Days are getting longer. Everything just seems to be coming together in a good way. Hopefully it comes together in the Red Sox way so we can bring you happy episodes and we can stop talking about how abysmal this offense is and start talking about how great it is. Let's talk about a 10-game win streak. Let's talk about Nate Eovaldi going a complete game. Let's talk about all the positive. Let's manifest this because, like I said, new month, new Red Sox team. Red Sox are going to have a very strong May. We're putting it into the universe and we're making sure the universe hears us because please, this offense is so tough to watch. Thank you for tuning into this special Sunday episode of the Locked On Red Sox podcast. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to Locked On Red Sox right here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts is where you can find us. Be sure to follow Locked On Red Sox on Twitter at LO_Red Sox, Jake at Jake Iggy, and me, Lauren, 3 Laws, Lauren with 4 R's. Be sure to check out all the other MLB shows across the network. Locked On Yankees, Locked On Angels, Astros, Rays, Blue Jays. Everyone is doing an incredible job. And if you're a Bruins or Celtics fan, please be sure to check out Locked On Bruins and Locked On Celtics. Ian and John do an incredible job. It's playoff time, baby, and we are ready to roll here in Boston. Now that you've made Locked On Red Sox your first listen, be sure to check out Locked On MLB for your second listen. Friend of the pod, good friend of mine, Paul Francis Sullivan, but please call him Sully, takes you through his unique perspective of major leagues, both past and present. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to check back here on Monday. We will recap what hopefully will be a win Sunday. And be sure to check out the rest of our episodes this week. Like I said, new month. Good month for the Red Sox. We will see you Monday. Let's go, Red Sox.